Welcome to The Daily Grind, a Bluff City Media daily podcast. Stepping up to the microphone is your host, Luke Hatmaker. Grab your favorite morning brew, and let's get to the show.
So muted, I can't even tell. There we go.
There he is.
Chip on myself a cup of ambition. I threw myself off because I did that was muted. Damn it, welcome to the Daily Grind. I'm your host, Luke Hatmaker. That poor attempt of Dolly Parton. Because she's working 9 to 5. She's pouring herself a cup of ambition. I just heard myself going, and I was like, we're already ruining this. Welcome to the Daily Grind. Friday. And I got Rusty with me. How are you, brother? You good?
I'm good, man. It is a beautiful Friday here in Memphis. Got some rain coming here a little bit. I was letting Shelby out earlier, and there was a mermaid going down the sidewalk, and she was heading to math class. And I said, "What are you wearing?" And she said, "An algebra."
Everything about
Welcome to the Daily Grind.
Welcome to you know what? The Grizzlies might have lost last night, but we got your puns, and that is going to brighten our day today.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Maybe. For those of you who did not watch last night, you're probably in a better mental state than we are. The Memphis Grizzlies lost to the Oklahoma City Thunder, 114 to 108. This was a game that saw them up by 77, or they had 77 points in the first half. Let's just go quarter by quarter. It was 40 points in the first quarter, 37 points in the second quarter, 18 points in the third quarter, and 13. Yeah. Off a cliff, man, in the fourth. It was just, it was such an, I don't know what was, I texted my buddy this morning. I honestly think this one was harder to watch than the 55-point blowout for me personally.
It absolutely was. I haven't missed a minute of the series, and this one was the hardest to watch. Because they did the ultimate Memphis Grizzly, right? They had us just invested enough to stay up way past my bedtime, only to lose. And there's plenty of blame to go around. I'm sure we're going to absolutely get into it. But the first half was amazing. We had vintage Ja. We had Jaren getting buckets. Like, the offense was absolutely clicking on all cylinders. We were locked in. And that was the first half was the most energy I've seen this team play with in at least a month or two. I mean, it's been a hot minute since I've seen the kind of energy.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, which is almost what made it even more depressing, because that first half felt like Memphis Grizzlies basketball, or it felt like the Memphis Grizzlies basketball of yesteryear, at run and gun, like pace, like going blow for blow with this team. It just felt like the offense and the defense were all clicking in that first half.
Yeah,
and then
everything was flowing. And then I don't know. Obviously we know we're going to get to the major dark cloud over yet another Memphis Grizzlies playoff basketball game / Ja getting hurt. But I just, like, halftime adjustments weren't quite there. The second half offense, it just looked different. Again, a big part of it was, no Ja Morant, but I mean, Tumas, man, like, I don't know.
So you know what? Yeah, Jalen, shout out, brother. Thank you for joining in with us this morning. I didn't want to start with Ja, and I hate to start with T.I. I don't hate to start with T.I. Actually, I don't hate it at all, because I don't want that man. I don't want him coaching our team after. And I like him a lot. But these are two really hard losses that I think are going to be. I think this series is just going to be really hard to come back from as a coach.
Yeah. And, like, I get Wayno's going to hop in the comments and tell us we're wrong. I know it's your boy, and I do like Tumas. I do. I think that he's got a great potential.
I love him.
He's just not ready. And I'm not saying that because of the 9 games we saw and then the 3 games we've seen so far in the postseason, though there's glaring holes in what he's doing. He's Timu TJ with, like, maybe 1 or 2 more in-game adjustments. But, like, we need a guy who's just proven, who's a winner. We've got Jajez and Jaren coming into their prime, right? Like, they're getting to that age where they win, the opportunity to win the NBA championships there, 27, 28 years old. I just don't know that Tumas is going to be the adult in the room that can unlock 2 superstars on this team. And I'll leave it at that for now. More to come.
Yeah, because it's
And yeah, like Austin, you're right. Like T.I. can't help bang, dribble, shoot, pass. Like I get it. He's like that's a running back trying to play quarterback out there. That's absolutely true.
Yeah.
But like the lineup rotation things were still goofy. We're drawing up a play at the end of the game for our two worst players in the game. We had a 2-man game going with Luke and Des trying to figure out some semblance of offense there. Like it was just the buffoonery is still there. Every time we call a timeout, we draw up a play, it results in a turnover. I haven't seen enough to tell me that he's the guy that can lead this team, and this team should look a lot different. But a lot different next year. More to come.
Yeah, and I think and he's right.
Yeah.
This is the biggest, like all the TI talk.
Sure.
This is by far the biggest thing. Wayno, you hit the nail on the head. We just need playable guys on the roster that aren't there right now.
Yeah.
I mean, it looked like when Ja went down, which we'll talk about Ja going down. When Ja went down, they were like scrambling to find somebody just to come out and sub out for Dez, so just to shoot the free throw. It's like he was like scrambling for Vince. It's like, bro, that shouldn't be where we're at. I not to jump on Jitty because Jitty should not be like a go-to playable guy in your playoff rotation, in your playoff rotation if you're trying to win a chip. Like, you think about it this way: would any of who on our rotation, who in our bench would be playing for this Thunder team?
Nobody.
Nobody.
Not a soul.
I don't even know if Edie wouldn't play. Pip wouldn't play. Santi wouldn't play.
Not a soul.
Luke's not playing. And so if you look at it that way, it's just there aren't playable dudes. We don't have enough playable guys on this roster. We just don't.
Yeah, you're right, Reno. We're not blaming the interim coach. There's plenty of blame to go around. I want to have a whole diatribe on Desmond Bain here in a few minutes. Yeah. But it's just you got to start somewhere, and that's where we started. I don't think I just don't think T.I.'s it. And then yet again, Luke, you talked about it. We get another what if. I think it was Jalen said a few minutes ago, or maybe it was Wayno, Ja, what if Morant, right? We have yet another playoff game. The series overall, like I said in a group chat last night, like it is what it is. This team's head and shoulders better than us, top to bottom. And yet we have the Ja Morant game, right? Like, what if Ja doesn't get hurt? And
that's a bummer.
Like the play, like, yes, Dort slipped, but there was also some regaining of footing that kind of he leaned a little bit. You can see there's two angles. One angle looks like he just slips and falls down. The angle from the side, you see him turn and kind of like lean towards Ja. And either way, like if you see a player in the air, you just hit the deck. It was bad luck, and that just seems like a lot of what happens to Ja Morant. But I don't know if he needs a lucky rabbit foot or new lucky underwear, but it just seems like it happens a lot. And we've got another game where there was a Ja Morant injury, and it was two different games after that.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm with you. I couldn't believe how quickly the refs went away and were like, nope, no flagrant, just because.
And Jalen, I'm not blaming Ja. I hope you don't hear that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not blaming Ja.
No.
Like, it's bad luck. Like, I'm just saying, like, it is what it is. It's just another like what if game that Ja didn't get hurt. Like, that ain't Ja's fault at all. He didn't like. There was nothing about what Dort did to Ja that was his fault. I just want to say that. Yeah,
we're with you, Jalen. It's the thing with Dort is, why on earth he even thought he could so it wasn't intentional, bro. Shouldn't have even attempted to start a move going back. He was already in the air. That's my thing. Just get out of the way, bro. Like I get it, but like just get out of the way. It's too dangerous, and then he fell hard. He fell long.
Landed right on that hip.
Bone.
I told Maggie, had it been me, like last night, my fat ass would have been fine. I'd have just plopped on the ground. I'd have hopped up and went right back down the court because I got enough fat around me that I cushioned the fall, right? Ja Morant's skin and bones. And when he hit, that was bone on floor. And It looked to me, in my professional opinion, like a hip pointer, which is a bone bruise of the hip. And it can be incredibly painful because it's a load-bearing bone. There's a lot of muscles that attach right in that area. And if that's what it is, he was on crutches when he came back out in the game last night. Like, that's going to be tough. Quick turnaround for Saturday. Like the ankle sprain, you can treat with some injections and compression, ice therapy, different things. But that hit pointer is going to be rough to come back from on Saturday.
Yep. Not looking forward to that. Let's talk before we get on. Let's just kind of ping pong down the guards for a minute because Pip had Super Pip, man. And Pip's gonna. I was so happy to just see. There's always one player where you see like on a big scale, you're like, oh, good for Scottie Pippen Jr. And how many points did he? 28 points. Did he have a 30 burger last night? He had
28, 5 and 5. Played his little ass off, and like I got nothing but love for Scottie Pippen Jr. this morning. Yeah, he should have hit the layup, but also like you got John Morant behind you, and if you can get a highlight reel, you go for a highlight reel.
Yep, I get it. When you're up, when you're whooping that ass like they were, you gotta keep your foot on their necks, and I get it.
I mean, he was 4 for 4 from 3 in the first quarter. Like you couldn't ask for more from a backup point guard. Than what we got from Pip last night. Great defense on SGA. He was pesky all night. Yes, SGA got his, but SGA is going to score 30 points. That's just what SGA does. But Scottie Pippen Jr. was a menace last night on the floor. He was awesome.
Yep. Let's so we've kind of like ping ponged around things. Desmond Bane.
Who talk about first? Yeah.
Let's talk about Desmond Bane.
So we're blaming Desmond for this game. Jaren is just a fun scapegoat because he's not a perfect player. None of them are. But when Ja went down last night, if you watched that game, Jaren was getting triple teamed.
Yeah.
Dort was slapping his arm. That happened multiple times with no call. Caruso was holding his hips anytime he tried to make a cut. Like Hartenstein was like, they got like Caruso especially, but Hartenstein got away with some like full arm hand checks on Jaren all night long. And so they clamped on Jaren, and it was Desmond Bane's game to win. And Desmond laid a friggin' rotten egg. And we're taking like 40-foot shots with 20 seconds left in the shot clock from Desmond and Luke, who have been awful all playoffs. We're drawing up a two-man game for them. I understand they're taking away Jaren, so kudos to Oklahoma City for doing a lot of that. But Desmond is a no-show, man. And like people want to give Tripp a hard time for being a ghost in the playoffs. Bane was awful last night. Turnover machine, couldn't shoot, non-productive on offense. Like there was nothing redeeming about anything Desmond Bane did last night that tells me that he's not a player. And I love Desmond Bane. I love seeing what he does out and about on Memphis when he's not on the court, right? Mud Island, Main Street, the zoo, love that. But I'm not ready to blow up the big three, but I would listen to offers surrounding Desmond Bane. A $40 million player turned into two $20 million vets.
And especially if you're going to have a $40 million a year player go out there who he had the same amount of turnovers last night as he did shots made.
Yeah. We'll get to Jaren being the most fraudulent DPOY ever, Jalen, because the stats this year, he has better defensive stats this year than everybody who was a finalist for DPOY. But table that for a second. Bane was awful last night. Awful.
Yeah, and it's the worst part about it is it was awful in a game where he was absolutely needed. You needed him. If he shows up in that second half, even a little bit, we probably win that game. Shout out Grizz Girl. Everybody comments are popping. Let's move over to Jaren because this was it wasn't a great Jaren game as well.
No, again, he wasn't perfect.
I'm still with you though. If I'm gonna pile on one of those two, I'm not piling on Jaren. I'm not. I
agreed. I mean, like especially in the fourth quarter, Luke, how many times did Lou Dort slap his elbow when he was going to make a move and get away with it? How many times did Caruso grab his hip or hand check and like throw him off because he could get away with a freaking foul? Like the whole thing, the whole thing is right there when it's not a flagrant on Lou Dort, but it's flagrant on Scottie Pippen Jr. This is the most unserious officiated league in all of professional sports. But Jaren was getting hacked because they knew who the best offensive player was. So again, hats off to Oklahoma City. They clamped down on Jaren because they knew that he was the only one left on the court that was going to beat them. And so they triple teamed him, they hand checked him, they slapped him all night and said, "You're not going to beat us," and nobody else could. So you can blame Jaren all you want, but we clearly didn't watch the same basketball game because Jaren ran through Chet's chest in the first quarter. Jaren got buckets on Chet last night. Yes, Chet had another decent game. He had 24 and 8.
Half, though. It was all in the
second half when Jaren is the focal point of their defense, and we couldn't do anything else.
Yeah.
Like he had zero help in the second half. So God bless you. If you want to blame Jaren, that's on you. That's fine. But we didn't watch the same basketball game.
Yeah, it was the deck was stacked so against Jaren in that second half last night. It was going to be
because when Caruso was one-on-one with Jaren got buckets. But when Caruso could get away with hand checks and then Chet could come over or Dort could come over and slap him and nobody, because they weren't like they were literally sagging off of Desmond Bane to cover Jaren and getting away with murder in the post. Like, again, man, like I don't know. I don't know what game y'all were watching last night, but like Jaren was getting absolutely mauled. He was triple teamed at one point and came out and made a layup. Like, what more do you want from the guy?
Yeah, man. Like, so I'm not going to blame Jaren for Luke Kennard and Santi Aldama going a combined 3 of 15.
Yeah.
I'm just not.
Yeah. Do you want Jaren to pass out to one of those guys? No, I'd rather take my chances with Jaren, at least trying to get a bucket and knowing that none of those guys, I mean, Wayno's absolutely right here in the comments.
Yeah. Let's throw this up here. This is important.
Like we can all get, jump on Desmond, jump on Jaren, jump on whoever. Edie came up earlier. Like you can jump on whoever you want. That's the best team in basketball. They're competing for a championship. They're going to give Boston an absolute run for their money in the championship. And we are going to have to hit reset in some capacity this offseason for sure.
Yep. And this is just, they need a plan. You want to talk about two teams that had two teams where one had a plan last night, one did not have a plan once Ja went out. They need to have a plan. And we'll see what happens Saturday.
Yeah. I mean, for sure. Again, we can talk about defense now because we got to talk about DPOY here in a minute. Jaren wasn't not his best defensive night last night, but again, when you're on an island and you're the only guy competing in the second half, in the first half, it was money. Everything was clicking. It was blocking shots. Jaren was all over the court. And then when Ja went down, we had no plan other than OKC just swarmed all over Jaren and attacked him on both ends. And I mean, the defense and effort were absolutely there until late in the game when he was absolutely gassed. And I gave T.I. shit for taking him out, but Jaren was gassed late because he was the only guy still competing when Ja went down. And I would die on that hill.
Yeah, I'm with you. And you could see it on his face. You could see he was like, I'm trying, y'all.
He was he can only do so much when you're the only guy competing defensively. Edie was a no-show last night in the paint, so you're having to guard Chet and Hartenstein. You're having to play free safety like he typically does. I'm not it wasn't Jaren wasn't perfect, wasn't great last night. He was in the first half. Second half left some room to be desired for sure. But again, if you look at that game last night and say this is Jaren Jackson Jr.'s fault, you got some you sipping some haterade this morning.
Haterade. Yeah, let's stop talking about this game. We've done almost 20 minutes on a.
I mean, this is it, man. To me, anybody not named Ja or Jaren, there's a couple other Gigi, Jalen, Edie. I would like to prefer to keep, but everybody else, man, if they call, I'm listening.
Yep. And we're gonna have one day next week. We're gonna talk roster, really dive in and figure this out. Let's talk about the other playoff series really briefly because I saw in the comments, Clippers. I saw Clippers going to beat OKC. Did I spell everything right? Cool, we're good. The Clippers blew out. I mean, they didn't blow out. They beat the Nuggets last night, 117-83. They're looking like the second best team in the West right now. I would say they're looking quite good.
Yeah, I agree. And they're peaking I said it the other day, on Twitter, they're peaking at the right time. They're getting hot at the right time.
Yeah.
Kawhi Leonard got healthy at the right time. That team's going to be dangerous. And as ugly as this OKC series has been, I think if we played the Clippers in the first round, my God,
dude, you got Harden, you got Zubac, you got Kawhi, and you got Norman Powell all going for 20 last night. They got a solid dude. Did you see where this might be my favorite thing? The Clippers handed out horse mask.
Yeah, that's incredible.
That's next level trolling, and I
freaking love it, man. I'm here for it. I hate the Clippers, but I love that. I still hate it from back in the day. I saw some little clown say, "Who we rooting for with the Grizzlies get eliminated?" He goes, "Here's mine," and it was Kawhi and James Harden. I'm like, brother, tell me you're a new fan without telling me you're a new fan, because I will forever hate the Clippers from back in the day. Forever hate the Clippers.
Some of my favorite memories of basketball are Griffin and Zebo not playing, rolling around in the paint, just fighting.
And then TA kicking Chris Paul in the face. Come on, bro.
Give it to me. Give it to me.
Come on. Come on.
The other series that happened last night was
What a game.
Knicks Pistons. Man, this series is turning out really exciting.
Yeah.
I think we were all hoping. I mean, I know you and we like the Pistons quite a bit, so I know we were excited to see them.
Yeah.
Pistons lost one. Well, let me guess. Knicks won 118, 116. Pistons
What a
had
game, though.
Yeah, what a game. Looked like the Pistons were going to win this one for a minute there. This one might go 7.
Yeah.
And if it does, man, this poor Knicks team, they're going to be tarred.
I mean, yeah, because they're playing 45, 46 minutes a night. Jalen knows, ball knower. TA kicking CP3 in the face.
Yeah.
Legendary. Absolutely. It's been Uncle Buck's Twitter picture for like forever.
Yep.
But anyway, ball knower, Jalen. So yeah, like this Pistons team is so scrappy and they play you hard for 48 minutes. And so those next players that are playing 45, 46 minutes are earning their money because they are getting. I mean, this Pistons team is physical. They fly up and down the court. Cade Cunningham was awesome. Tim Hardaway Jr. had a revenge game against the Knicks last night. Schroeder was so good again.
Schroeder, man.
They've got the right vets around the right young players. Cade Cunningham is a budding star. And this Pistons team is going to be good for a long time. I think they win game 4 and we head back to New York all square at 2. And I am freaking here for it. This is peak NBA playoff basketball already. And it's still April.
Yep. Yeah. Go. Oh, it's awesome. We do have some series tonight. We'll hit on them in the next week. We got a little bit of hardware that was handed out last night. Evan Mobley was awarded the Defensive Player of the Year award. Glad it wasn't Draymond. Very glad it wasn't Draymond. I'm bummed that I guess I'm bummed it was Mobley because it makes me feel like if Jaren didn't get hurt, if Jaren stayed on the course that he was having, he might have won it. But
agreed, especially because and I thought I'll if I was a good co-host this morning, I would have had it. I thought I had bookmarked it, but I saw a tweet yesterday where when it was number of stocks and opponents' field goal percentage when defended by a player, Jaren had the lowest field goal percentage out of anybody in the NBA and only trailed Dyson Daniels in stocks this year. So say what you want about it not being a DPOY and he's fraudulent and all that stuff. Like the facts and the stats say completely different. Yep. He carried this team offensively for the first half of the season with Ja being out. Defensively, stats were on par. Again, he's like with his DPOY, he had a better true shooting defended percentage than anybody else in the NBA, more stocks than Evan Mobley. And then when it was the other stat that I saw was players when you're defending the ball handler, so like the primary ball handler, Jaren was second only to Dyson Daniels in field goal percentage as a big. I don't know what to tell you, man. Jaren awesome. Jaren absolutely defends the top option. Yeah, we hit him a little bit in the Golden State game. I hated that. But if you look at the season as a whole and you say they're fraudulent, man, some people are just going to hate Jaren. And part of me is you know what? I wish Jaren would go to another team and be awesome for that team and then just be like, this is what we had.
Look,
this is what we had. Jaren is an absolute defensive menace. Everybody outside of the 901 sees it. Everybody would kill. If Jaren became available, 29 out of 30 teams would immediately want him. I bet the phone. There are more teams out there that could use Jaren right now than John Morant. My God,
and I don't think that's speaking out of
close. With what he does on both sides of the ball. He would. There's not but maybe 2 teams, maybe 3 that he wouldn't be a top 3 offensive option, and there's not any teams where he wouldn't be the primary defender that you call on late in games.
No, none.
And the stats and the facts back that up.
Facts are facts, America. They're
facts trump your feelings.
Love it. Jaren's going to be back in this. He's going to be back in this conversation next year. I firmly believe that. I don't think this is the last we've seen of him in the Defensive Player of the Year conversation.
And he's going to keep doing it year after year after year.
Yes, I still think he's going to get an all defensive team, which hopefully they announce those as soon as we can talk about those.
He will.
Let's switch gears a little bit because the NFL draft happened last night. What are some big? I don't know. Where should we? The Browns did something smart, which was weird. They found a willing partner in the Jaguars who aren't very smart.
Hot take: Travis Hunter's not going to stick in the NFL. He's too small. I like the guy. He's super athletic. He's obviously a cerebral player. Like, this is nothing against him personally. Just like small corners don't make it in the NFL. And I've seen we had a couple. Martin Emerson and Emmanuel Forbes came out of Mississippi State. They were ball hawks. They were amazing in college. They got to the pros. Like, Emmanuel Forbes was Travis Hunter without the two-way a couple of years ago. Like, he led the NCAA in pick sixes. Like, he was incredible. He gets to the pros, he gets bullied because he's so small. And that's what's going to happen to Travis Hunter. I think he's a good player. I just don't know that he's big enough to match up. He's going to be a slot receiver at best. He's going to be an inside corner, like a nickel maybe, but even then he ain't got enough lead in his britches to defend the run. And so my hot take is I think that Travis Hunter, I hate to call him a bust, but I don't think he's going to stick in the NFL. If
he's going to be, I mean, I don't trust a single receiver in that locker room, and I don't think I trust Trevor Lawrence either. So I tend to agree that I don't think he's going to be very good on the offensive side of the ball. He might get lucky just because he's in the AFC South and who's throwing the ball against him. He might, but that's it. He is undersized, and we'll see.
The Titans. We either got the next Aaron McNair or Anthony Richardson. Like, it's going to be somewhere in between, right? He's got a big arm. He's super athletic. I like Cam Moore. We got one really good year of film. Can it translate? I love the confidence.
Yeah,
I love the poise that he plays with. I like him a lot. We'll see. I think the two best players in the draft last night to me were Abdul Carter, who went to the Giants, and with him and Thibodeau and Brian Branch.
That's who they have.
Brian Branch. Like, those guys are going to absolutely get after the quarterback next year. That's going to be a fun defensive front to watch. I'm excited about that. And then the steal of the draft, and I'd be damned if he didn't go to the Colts. Is going to be Tyler. Like, of all teams, like Dallas Clark reincarnated is going to the Colts. We got another great tight end who's versatile, who's just great at finding holes in the zone. It can line up anywhere. He's Dallas Clark 2.0, and he's a freaking Colt. But I think those two are going to be the best players taken last night.
Yeah, I couldn't believe. Well, after Tyler Warren falling, and he didn't really fall. He just slipped a little bit. I was surprised he went as late as he did.
Yeah,
and I can't believe it. Sanders not being drafted in the first round is surprising to me. Not even in the end of it. Somebody hell, the Giants traded back in to get Jackson Dart. Like, yeah, it's crazy.
I worry. Like, the talent is there. Like, he's super smart. He's got a great arm. Like, he's very athletic. The talent is there. I just wonder if the sideshow is going to be a little much for the NFL, right? Because that's typically what happens. Like, if there's a lot of drama and things surrounding and things that come with a player, and unfortunately with Shador, you're going to get Dion. And it's unfortunate because the talent's there. But I think that, like, some of the sideshow cost him some draft position for sure.
And it's, as an organization, it's got to be tough as a head coach drafting a kid who has never played for anyone other than his dad, who his dad has kind of gone and taken. And I love Dion. Dion's done good by his kids. I'm pro Dion.
Yeah, same. I'm not anti-Dion or Shador or Travis Hunter by any means. Yeah.
I just, as a coach, I would be nervous as hell bringing him into my locker room, knowing that my job is immediately going to be on the line. And that's nothing against anybody. It's just that how it
Ask
works.
Taylor Jenkins how that worked out, right? Like you got a guy, like you got Shador, then you got his dad that's a successful-ish college coach. I think there's a handful of organizations that can handle that. DG's talking about Cleveland getting Shador at 33. I don't love that for either of those teams. They might do that. To me, the best fit feels like Pittsburgh, because Mike Tomlin feels like the only dude that's going to look Dion in the face and say, hey, man, like, I got this. I need you to chill.
Unfazed.
Like, everybody else is going to, like, tiptoes a little bit, but I think Mike Tomlin is the only one that's got the gumption, the testicular fortitude, if you will, to step up to Dion. And so I would love to see him go to Pittsburgh. I think that'd be a great, great fit for him and a great place for him to learn and grow under a proven coach. Great NFL coach.
Yeah, and a team, a franchise. I'm with you. I was honestly surprised that he slipped past the Steelers last night.
What's kind of circling all the way back to Cam Moore, what makes me the most nervous, and this is unfortunate, is somebody said that's going to be the next Pat Mahomes. And I about spit out my drink last night. And I'm like, bro, like, we got to pump the brakes, man. Like, the guy might be great, but that's a hell of a comparison on draft night. And if you put you put that stuff out there, like sometimes it comes back and bites you. I think Cam Ward's going to be great, but that Pat Mahomes comparison on draft night.
Hey, don't worry, man. I already got, I can't even remember his name. I already talked myself into the Bears tight end they picked because I heard someone compare him to Travis Kelce last night on draft night. I was like, okay, I'm in.
Yeah, that Loveson or Loveland or whatever his name is from Michigan.
Loveland. Maybe.
Then I don't know. Like you got.
He looks like a wide receiver.
Warren, Tyler Warren is a mauler, like a great blocker. There's so much stuff. Like I don't know. Anyway, I was just high on the dude.
Quick tight end, Luke. Take Colston resembles a lot. He seems like the same type of player as Cole Kmet to me. I would have gone with Tyler Warren, but it's neither here nor there because Ashton Genty went 6 to the Ravens or to the Raiders, and I was so sad.
Are the Raiders going to be good now next year? I mean,
dude, let's talk about the Raiders really quick.
Genty and Geno Smith, like, are they going to be good?
Pete Carroll, Tom Brady running the show. I don't know. I'm going to watch. I'm going to watch them.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to be good, but we'll watch.
I mean, we're going to watch. Brock Bowers is a stud. I had him in fantasy last year, and he got me all kind of points down the stretch last year. Loved that. When it was picked last night, I was like, oh, I hate that for Genty. But then, like, the more I thought about it, like, this is not the Raiders of old. This is a different regime. Like, the Raiders might be okay next year.
I know. I'm kind of excited to see it.
Yeah.
Last thing on the draft, what was the biggest surprise for you? Or no, actually, no, not the biggest surprise. Let's just talk about Jackson Dart. Is he going to succeed with the Giants?
No. I mean, Drew can talk him up all he wants. Like, he's got a good arm. Like, the intangibles, he's a winner. He's blah, 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 blah. He's a system quarterback, man. Like,
he's going to learn from Russell Wilson, bro.
Oh, my God. He's going to Russell Danger Wilson. Like, do you like spicy sandwiches is what he's going to ask. And, like, it's just wild, man. I just think that, like, I let Drew blow his smoke the other day because you got to let him win every once in a while. But I'm not buying Jackson Dart, man. I'm just not.
It is my least favorite quarterback room in the league.
Yeah, I mean, it's awful.
It's like Tommy DeVito, Russell Wilson, and just Jackson Dart. I just think it's so funny. I'm sorry, Uncle Buck, if you're watching.
Yeah. Don't jump off your phone books and come hurt us, man. Like, it's fine, but Jackson Dart ain't it, bro.
Yeah, cool name. Real cool name. We got more rounds of the NFL draft. If there's anything cool, we'll probably do an all-round thing draft talk next week because I want to see where Sanders goes. That's really what I want to talk about. Last thing before we get out of here, though, the weekend outlook. I was trying to go directly into Tombstone, Val Kilmer, and it really confused me. So we're just going to stick with Sean Connery. The weekend outlook. So, what are you doing this weekend? Well, I had a busy weekend with Easter and with I went to a concert last weekend. It's just going to be me this weekend. Kyla and Finn, that we've got a big camping trip. I'm working, so I don't get to go, but like a bunch of our friends and family are going camping. So it's just me and the dogs. Yeah. And I'm going to be working from home this weekend. And it's going to be that thing where I overstimulate myself with sporting stuff. I'm going to have a TV with like basketball TV with the draft on. I'll probably have a podcast in my ears while trying to work, and we'll see if it works. But
I recommend the $2 Sports Show from yesterday. It was quite good.
Yeah. Have you tried the $2 Sports Show?
You tried the $2 Sports Show yet? May I interest you in a $2 Sports Show episode?
Good year at $2. Yes. So that's what I'm doing this weekend. How about you? What are you up to?
I have a Maggie weekend. I'm super excited, man. We're going tonight. There's this great event at the Memphis Zoo called Roar and Pour, where there's like 30 Tennessee distilleries are going to set up, and you can do tastings and samplings at the zoo.
I love the Memphis Zoo.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Like, it's kind of around the main area. There's a lot of like local restaurants that are going to have tastings and stuff as well. So super stoked about that. It's going to be a ton of fun. It's going to rain some this afternoon and then be gone and be like really cool. So like, I'm excited that it's going to be a great Memphis Friday night event. Excited about Roar and Pour. And then tomorrow we're going to the Grindhouse. We're going to watch the last game of the year. And going to watch the Grizzlies play the Thunder at 2:30 tomorrow. I'm a glutton for punishment. I'm going to be there. I'm going to see my guy Mikkel in the swag shop tomorrow, in the team store tomorrow. Get tacos and ganas one last time in the Forum. I'm like, this is where I'm at. Like,
yeah, baby.
I just like, I can't help it. Like, I'm the eternal optimist. it's a bummer. Like, it sucks that we lost last night, but Maggie and I'll be there. Wayno, we're working on her whiskey palette, so we're gonna be sipping some whiskey together. But I'll make sure and get her some wine or something on you, and I'll send you a Venmo request for it. But no, it's gonna be a great date weekend with Maggie. I'm super excited to spend the weekend with her after this has been a really busy week for me. So
yeah,
looking forward to like some dates and also some downtime.
Hell yeah, it's gonna be a good weekend for downtime and a good weekend for Grizzlies basketball. It might be the last game of the season, guys. Go support the team. Believe, they need it. Let's not be sourpusses. We still have a great team that we can support, and we love you guys. Go, and you know what? We love them. Fanatic is short, or no, fan is short for fanatic. So we act a little crazy sometimes. It's fine. Yeah. Have a great weekend, everybody. Have a good day at work. Be safe. Yeah. Be smart. Be the best. I had a friend. Sidebar.
Appreciate you, Jalen.
Yeah, Jalen. I went to college with Greg Williams' daughter. You remember Greg Williams of Bounty Gate fame? Yeah. He used to sign off all of his emails. Be safe. Be smart. Be the best. And it's coming from the guy that started Bounty Gate, but that's neither here nor there. Yeah. We will be back on Monday. If we can leave you with anything at all today, remember these two things. Remember to be a little weird and remember to smile. Bye, guys. Have a good day. Go Grizz.
Go Grizz.